What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on Hashtag Confirmed, we're going to be doing something a little bit different, but not really all that different. We're actually going to be digging into some developer tweets. Now, as you guys know, the dev stream has been postponed for another week, or it's actually not scheduled until next Friday because they've got all of these events that they're going off to, so they're not really able to sit down on the couch and give you all of these informations. However, they have been kind of sharing some little bits and pieces here and there on their personal Twitters, so I figured I would go ahead and compile all of that and send that out to you guys. Now, before we continue on with this, I'm very curious, do you guys like this kind of stuff? Are you following the devs on their own Twitters and you see it yourself? Or do you not really use Twitter, or maybe don't even have a Twitter and you're like, okay, good, it's nice to know all of these little bits and pieces while it's here. It's just kind of like me gauging and like checking the temperature of the water to see if this kind of stuff is necessary. I feel like it's nice to share every now and then, and if it's even not that, at least we have a place to talk about the things that we want to chit chat about. Now, before we dive into the tweets, let's go ahead and jump into what was posted today. So if you guys are curious, and this is my way of not breaking NDA in any way, shape, or form. I'm just letting you know that, D.E. Taylor, just in case you're watching this. Okay, so D.E. Taylor posted up in the forums, where is update 22.17.1? Well, hi Tenno, it's Wednesday, my dudes. It's such a Taylor thing to say. Which usually means it's update day. Unfortunately, that's not the case tonight. There are still a few issues plaguing us that our team is working hard to fix, but hopefully you can expect a PC deployment tomorrow. What will it contain? I can't say much, but I heard that it's glistening, magnificent even. Thank you for your patience. I'm gonna let you guys figure out what that means yourself, because I'm not gonna say anything. I signed an NDA form, so Rob's gotta keep his trap shut on what Monday's email told him. Anyway, I wanted to go ahead and jump into the tweets now that that's kind of like out of the way. As you guys can see, this is a screenshot shared by D.E. Scott. Now, of course, he's got both Venari and he's got a Kubro out there, and he is playing with Korra. We've seeing a lot of shots of Korra, and I'm kind of getting a feeling like she's coming. Of course, that's not what this tweet was about. It's almost kind of a great opener tweet. Scott was saying, since everyone else is giving out cool shots and secrets, I figured I could too. Kavats and Kubros living in harmony, hashtag Korra hype. So I don't know if we're gonna end up seeing her in the next dev stream, like legit seeing her in the next dev stream. Hopefully we'll see her sooner than that, and maybe have it out to us the Wednesday before that dev stream. I would absolutely be in love with that. Very excited. However, let's jump into another bit of news that we're almost kind of following up on. Now, as you guys can see here, Pablo actually went ahead and tweeted out Mesa's Waltz. So this is actually footage from the Mesa's Waltz augment, even though it is very loading-y, as you guys can tell here. But one of the things that I thought was really cool, and I thought it would be a good thing to let you guys know about, is the fact that it has been confirmed that Mesa's Waltz is gonna be an Exilus slot augment. He said that mainly because of the fact that it is solely movement based, that she would be able to put this into her Exilus slot, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And I know that last time I said, oh, you know, I'm not gonna be bothering with this augment, but now knowing that it will fit into the Exilus slot, I'm like, this might be something you toy around with. Let me know if you guys had your minds changed. Grammar's just all out tonight. But if that changes your mind about the augment, if it's something that you're more eager to use now, knowing that it is going to be available for the Exilus slots. Because, like I said, initially I was like, meh, pass, not really going to mess around with that one. And I'm actually going to go ahead and link in the description box below this tweet, because there's actually some really good conversation about why certain abilities or certain augments are in the Exilus slot and why some of them just kind of appear in the main build only. I think it's really nice because Pablo kind of goes out of his way to chat with people on Twitter, and you know, if they've got some, I guess you would say, issues, he addresses those issues quite well and kind of, you know, keeps you guys in the loop as to why they do certain things. Alright, now moving on to the next thing, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of interested. Okay, when I want to say that I'm not that interested in it, but I'm kind of interested in it. It's one of those things because I've never been good at taking care of dojos. Like, listen, my orbiter is already a mess as it is. I haven't even gone through and fashion framed the whole thing up there. It's just not a thing that I won't say that I'm good at, but it's just not something that I really prioritize highly. Like, I'd rather my frames look absolutely amazing so that when I go out into missions with you guys can check that out. But maybe since I do take you guys on my orbiter every now and then, I should make it a little bit prettier. Just don't want it to look messy. Anyway, that's besides the point. Steve actually went ahead and showed off the lighting in the dojos. Now, I did kind of order things from like the things that I found the least interesting to the most interesting. So this is kind of like where we start. But it is kind of cool because the lighting really does change the coloring. Like, it really does have a dramatic shift in the tone of the dojos themselves, and I'm almost tempted to like harass Mogamu and be like, let me fashion frame one of the rooms, let me do it, because legitimately I think it's kind of cool. There's even a fog machine in there. What? We could turn this into a concert. We might make Mogamu's dojo into like a freaking concert hall. That is kind of cool, and you can even preview the colors for a moment, letting them kind of like sit there and marinate as you go and explore. I think it's a kind of a cool thing, and I don't know how many of you guys are obsessed about dojo fashion framing. Me personally, not high on my list, but these shots, I mean, these shots make me consider it. All right, now moving on to another tweet from Scott. And I think this is definitely more a lot of people's alleys. They're actually showing off the new inventory system. They did, Steve definitely like 100% said, don't pay attention to these numbers because the cell numbers are just like placeholders. But it's actually looking really, really good. It's looking really clean. I know there's some people that felt like it was a little overwhelming for them to use, and I was kind of like looking at the other screenshots. I disagree. I think that there's just a lot more visual interest on the screen. Like, it's like there's more things happening on the screen, but if you look at the UI itself, it's pretty simple. You know, here's your scrolly barry thing, here's, you know, the list of items to sell, and then of course here's a top where you can sort. So I don't really think it's all that complicated. I just feel like, you know, there's some graining in the background and there's some little details, and maybe that's distracted some players, but I think it looks pretty classy. I think that they've done a good job to make it make a statement without doing too much. However, again, I am very, very curious to see if they'll let us customize these colors ourselves. Listen, we bought palettes for a reason, honey. Let us do our customization, but that is just me. Now we're gonna move on to the final tweet, and it's a very bare bones tweet. But I won't say I'm excited, but I'm very curious to see what's going on. This one is actually from Mr. Sheldon, and he's working on Pet 2.0. And this is like, here's the thing. Without these tweets, you'd think that Sheldon's like sitting on his butt somewhere like saying, yes, I did the Kuvas, amazing. You know, he's just like celebrating in his own time. But, you know, there's a lot of things that happen in the background, and it's kind of nice to have access to these tweets so that you can see what they're actually messing around with. Now, of course, this was such a totally tweet, and Sheldon always does this kind of stuff. But while Steve, and then, oh my god, Mark, oh shit, it's the game design guy that I have a thing for, Pablo, they might show you cool videos. All I have is a screen of my work in progress headings. Can't show you the contents yet, not even Rebecca. That said, hit me with your Pet 2.0 desires. I'm all dog ears. So I'll go ahead and leave this in the description box below as well. So if you guys want to go ahead and add to the conversation, you can. But I am very excited that the ideas are being put out there, and I think that there's a lot of things that we could talk about when it comes to Pet 2.0. My biggest point would definitely be make us have, how do you put this, meaningful options. Like, don't make it like, oh, look, this guy chases down capture targets. He's an amazing pet. I'm like, give us some good buffs. Give us some, like, you know, maybe we get 100% status. you know, or maybe we have 100% slash status, you know, we could do that, or maybe make them open enemies up to melee finishers, maybe like a growl that like stuns enemies surrounding them, or maybe like a big old like AoE knockback or something that rips off enemy armor. Oh, we already have that for Kavatswa, you know. It's always nice. But definitely things like that, or even make it so that certain like Kubros give like a lot of bonus affinity consistently, so that could be like you're leveling up Kubro, you know, and then you could have another Kubro that's really, really good at finding rare items. So that would be like, oh, well, do I choose, you know, maybe the Sentinel's Vacuum, or do I choose the one that I use to level up, or do I choose the one that helps me get this rare, you know, this rare item? Maybe something along those lines, so that way it's not just kind of like, well, I can have something that sucks things up, or I can have something that, you know, doubles my pickups. You know, like having something that makes you really say, all right, if I'm gonna min-max this build, what pet can I use to accent what I'm currently doing, right? So it kind of makes you think like that, or maybe even a pet that can go through and give you like bonus mitigation, right? So there's a lot of things that I really want to see for Pets 2.0, and that's mainly because of the fact that right now as it stands, there's really just a handful of pets that people gravitate towards because those are the only meaningful options. So what I want to see is a widening of meaningful options. And one of the biggest things that I always need to kind of point out here is that doesn't mean universal vacuum. Remember, we want to promote pet diversity. We want pets to be different, and we want them to be different in meaningful ways. You know, painting everything a slightly different shade of blue is not diversity. All right? Like, that's one of the things that always drives me crazy, because everybody's like, it'll promote pet diversity because you can choose whatever pet you want. Nah, bitch, we're just gonna min-max it. That's what happens. We min-max it, and if there's one pet, if all the pets do the exact same shit, that's not giving us any meaningful differences. So what we do need is we need things like, oh, this one will give you bonus rare resources. You know, maybe this one will go ahead and constantly supply you with energy ores. Maybe you have like an energy puppy, and he can almost like sit there and be like your solution to Arcane Energize. Maybe you don't have Arcane Energize sets, or you have like a puppy that's all about speed and like encourages you and your team to move faster, attack faster, reload faster. You know, like really give some meaningful differences across all of them. And the same thing goes for Sentinels too. I know you guys are fully aware I don't really like Sentinels, but I'm kind of crossing my fingers that, you know, maybe they'll make some meaningful differences in the Sentinels as well. And maybe even make some like different cool combos, because I really loved the ingenuity that they came up with when they did the whole, self-destruct region. And there was one other thing that was in there, self-destruct region, and I don't know, there's like a weird fucking combo. Oh, the one that revives you, but dies in the process? So it's like you get revived, then it regenerates itself, but when it dies, it self-destructs, so it has a possibility of giving you rare resources. There's a lot. I love that kind of combo nature, and that would almost make Sentinels more interesting for me to use. So those are just my quick talking points. I'm sure that I could like spend a whole fucking video giving you guys a thing on Pets 2.0. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you guys want to see too. Pets 2.0, you want to hear my input on it? Maybe we'll do a Wabiki? I don't know. But that about does it for me. I hope this update has given you guys a good grasp on what is going on behind the scenes while the developers have been a little bit quiet and while the updates to Warframe have been a little bit slower. So go ahead and toss all of your feelings in the comments below. I'm really curious to see how you guys feel about Pets 2.0. We've already talked about the UI, so we won't get into that, but I want to know about the Exilus slot augment thing. That's really, really cool. And that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! I really very closely said touch your puppy, and I was like, that sounds very inappropriate.